This is exactly where design thinking comes in. When you say the problem statement given is design an application for telemedicine for elderly above 70, the telemedicine for elderly above 70 part gets lost and one focuses on application. How will the front end be? How will be the information architecture be? Should we use MongoDB for backend? Should we use SQL for backend? So that is the how part that comes last. So first in design, the design thinking principles state that first important to frame the problem. By framing it is who is it for, who is the end consumer, why is it even a problem as of today, what is the context, and how will your solution or intervention help in the future. So this is the entire gamut from going from ideating, problem framing to sketching, prototype, and finally the pitch. So the flow would be focusing on the problem, sketching and prototyping for the problem, which ultimately would lead you to the pitch. So actually you don't have to work that hard on the pitch. Once you get these two main pieces together, your pitch will come organically. So the hard and critical part is this. This is where you are likely to get stuck. This is where you're likely to not maybe sometimes make a headway and you have to find alternatives. But the pitch, to be honest, is the easiest part. All right. So coming to ideating and problem framing. I have used Google Slides as a deck because it's free and all of your students can use it. Just take a blank sheet, Google Slide, and you can create small sticky notes as I have done here. You can see them and use this for whiteboarding in collaboration. If you all are a team of 3, 4, get into a Zoom call together, have the slide named ideating and problem framing, and each one assign a type of color of sticky note. So if Ria takes green and Michelle takes blue, the third person takes pink probably, and you can brainstorm on your ideas on how to, what is the problem first and how to approach the problem. So each one use this Google slide as a whiteboard to fill in key in all your ideas. Imagine these are all sticky notes and then put them one by one. First, get all what is in your head out there, because right now we are in a remote environment. It's not easy for us to use physical sticky notes. So use this as a whiteboarding tool, the Google slide, and use these sticky notes to put all your thoughts out there. And when you're thinking about the problem, whether it's onboarding new users, whether it's signing up new mentors, whether it's establishing a community, please be very creative and broad in who all you're solving the problem for. See that you're most inclusive. See how you can include someone who, for example, may have a dyslexic ability. How will you include them if they want to be mentored? What if there's somebody who's physically handicapped but wants to be a mentor with Aspire for her? So try to look at all these scenarios. First, look at the basic initial scenarios, which is a standard scenario. Then look at the other inclusive scenarios. Who are those at the outliers, the mains, who are out of the mainstream, you can include. So this will be, and this is going to be the most time consuming part. Once you get this right, and in this there are certain processes to be followed. People use how might we can use jobs to be done. How might we this process is something I've used a lot, and this is something I can speak for comfortably because I've applied this. So the how might we process works like this. You ask the question, open-ended question, how might we design an application for a user or a persona to solve for a pain point, and so that they can do a certain successful an outcome successfully. So here, please don't club 3 4 pain points at one time. Try to make this how might be for each pain point that you identify. If it's one pain point, it's okay. If you've identified 2 3 pain points and 2 3 different type of personas, you'll have that many permutation combinations. So please outline accordingly. So here I have used this and also understand what is the current process. How is the onboarding being done currently? What is the process for our country? Why are we falling short in that process? Are we able to scale in the process? If it's not able, we are not able to scale, then why are we not able to scale? Okay. So these kind of thoughts also come as part of your how might we. And the standard way for you all to simplify and do this is again use sticky notes. Okay. Otherwise, and honestly, this session is usually a 2 to 3 hour session because there's lots to cover. But I've tried to compress as much as I can for this. So here you can again use sticky notes. This is an example of a persona. Okay, this may be a community member, your mentee, your future member, anything. And the persona is something like this. It's a fictional representation of your future user or customer. So here you have Ria. Probably she's around 20s. This is an estimation for you to frame your problem around. So she's probably from Chennai and looking for guidance in a data science career. So how will you solve her pain point? And her pain point is to find a relevant mentor. The key word here being relevant. If you get her on board your platform on your proposed solution and you find her a mentor, but not in the relevant field, it will not be solving her problem. It may be adding to more of her problems and it'll end up as a bad user experience. So here, the main pain point is how to find relevant mentors. How are you going to solve for that? And then your, one second. And what would success look like? Okay, now first you understood the person whom you're solving for. Then you understood what is the pain point you're solving for. Okay, now that we take them to this journey, how will the success look like? So this is the part I want to leave you all with, because if I solve all of these pieces, then it's a bit of, I don't want you all to be biased by any of the solution. So that is the part I would like to leave to you all to think. What would success look like for this value, for this problem statement? This way you can come out with many different scenarios, and for each please have a fictional persona, a pain point, and a successful outcome. It'll help you build your narrative based on this. So when you begin with your how might we, you end with your value proposition. So you have deliberated on how might we's, and you have come up with your personas, your problem state, your pain points, and your proposed solutions. Then you end with your value proposition. I've just given a basic format. If you've made a team, you can say we are team, maybe Marvel, maybe Wonder Woman, however you like it. And designing an application for probably girls between 18 and 20 looking for mentorship in data science. If you want to narrow down, the more you narrow down your problem, the easier it is. So, or else you can keep it broad, looking for mentoring for career related or tech related role or STEM related roles. So again, it is more technical, or there are some who look only for communication skills related mentoring. So then they become a different group. So they will be a persona, solve for their pain point, and so that you enable them, your solution, your intervention enables them to do enable a successful outcome. In this case, maybe finding a relevant mentor for Ria. So this is one way of doing the ideation. And always understand in terms of creating value. Where are you, where in the pipeline are you creating value? Are you finding a relevant mentor faster, in a better way? Then what are the criterias that impact this decision? So understand these pieces, the value creation. How is this going to be better than how the competitor matches mentors? So in this sense. So then once the ideation and problem framing is done, we go to the sketch and prototype. Now, sketch and prototype, there are 4 steps. These are at a very basic level. So because there is a time constraint, you gather and collate all your how might we notes, all your personas, solution, your successful outcomes. And between the 3, 4 of y'all, vote on which ideas you like. Because if you are having 5, 6, 7 ideas, try to single out one idea. And because your pitch will be around that one idea, you can't make a pitch to solve everybody's problem or to solve one person's problem in different scenarios, because you'll have to use one persona, one this thing, and then show that this can be done to a generic target audience. So vote on one or maximum 2 ideas, because, and keep in mind your pitch has to be done on that. There is a process called Crazy Eights. This is introduced by Google, where you fold your page or make 8 corners on a sheet, A4 size sheet, and then deliberate in those 8 corners how would you like the screens to look like. For example, if you want to build it in a form of a mobile app, how will your login to sign up to user account to the choosing the matching of the mentor look like. Okay, and this need not be perfect. It can be just be a paper and pencil. So, a rough sketch of what is that, you'll have been deliberating about for the two or one voted idea. And then based on that, you from the Crazy Eights, if you like 2 or 3 screens, you can choose that. The main fundamental idea of Crazy Eights and prototype is to design interactions. That is, after sign up, where will your user go? Where are you going to show the next page? How is the navigation going to be? You want to have a top level navigation which is going to be simpler, or you want to have a bottom level so that you can include more icons, or how much is the information you want the user to interact with in that period of time and in that small screen that you have. So you have to visualize this. Urvashi, is someone's Urvashi request? Yeah, thank you. So you have to visualize how each screen will interact with each other from a user point of view. Not necessarily how the data will flow, but how the user will interact. Are the instructions clear? Are you giving enough messaging for them to go next? Is there a cognitive overload? Is it too much information to consume and the messaging is getting lost? So your solution sketch will articulate your, the sketch that will go as into your in the pitch as that output will be your input for the pitch. So the solution sketch has to create the context. Under what circumstances is your solution coming under? Is it in the real world? Where is this problem occurring? Okay, at which stage? Like if it's for a student who's 18-year-old, that is your context. That is one context. If it is for somebody who's 25 and is working, that is your context. So always create the context in the solution sketch. And it's okay to be messy, because it will be messy in the beginning. You'll not get perfect sketches and perfect prototypes and wireframes. It comes with a lot of practice. I still struggle at times. So it's okay to be messy and be as creative as possible. Think of things you would like, which you see which is not there in another app or in another solution. So be creative. Don't think in terms of how we will build this initially. First, see as how it will be creating value for someone. Then we will worry about how we will build it. And even in the solution sketch, your messaging is very important. You cannot put sentences about your value proposition. We want to do this 4 5 sentence. First of all, it will not look nice on the wireframe in the presentation. Second thing, nobody in 3 to 4 seconds, one should be able to understand what is that you're offering. So something like Nike, just do it. So it's 3 words, but you understand what is the messaging. So same way, if it's about community building, find your tribe. I'm just giving an example. In 3 words, you tell that this is about getting like-minded people together. So you have to use words, judiciously. This is one solution sketch. This is from the Design Sprint book by Jake Snap and John Zeratsky. So I've taken this picture from there. So it is just if you see, it's just a simple cartoon sketch. Okay. It's a conversation between two people. It speaks about something called digit. Okay. And the sign up is what is emphasized on. But above the sign up, it says save a little over time. So you understand it's something to do with saving money. So in the first 3 to 4 seconds, that message is absorbed. Okay, now it's about saving money. How it's going to make me save money? That is on the second screen. On the second screen, it's building trust. It's giving you ways that they have done their homework, they know their stuff, and they are willing to go the extra step for you. so that you can save a little more. And the third is social proof. It's the testimonials of people who have already used Digit, and it helps you it nudges you into making a decision. So this is the solution sketch flow. This is one example. For y'all, you can use a sample template like this. You can make it in a Google slide as well, where you can use a rectangle as a shape and then divide it into 3 or 4 categories for a mobile app. You can have your headline and tagline in the beginning in 3 or 4 words. What is that you're trying to achieve or solve? What is the value proposition? Why we should care? Why is this so great? Why is it better than what is already there? And what is the action you want to drive, as in why we should join you as a community member, why we should sign up, why we should install. So that final nudge in terms of an image, or you want to do it in terms of some stats, or you want to use a testimonial for social proof, that will come in the third area here. And the last would be a call to action. Now, call to action also, you have to do it a bit according to your target audience. Like in this case, it's 18 to 25. So try to keep the messaging more youthful, less formal, more youthful, because then you'll connect with that age group. If you are doing for a age group of 30 to 40 or 40 to 50, 50 plus, then the messaging is different. So understand, when you're building for yourself, you say you are the target audience. How would you like the messaging? What kind of colors you would like? Would you like bright colors? Would you like sober colors? What kind of words would you like? Is sign up too boring, or join us soon, or something like that? So think from different perspectives. So finally, we come to the last part, which is the pitch. So when you get your ideation, problem framing correct, your solution sketch and your prototype, right, then the pitch will come, because you've already worked on building a narrative. Now you have to get all the pieces of the puzzle together and tell a story. So there are 2 ways I use, and this is what has worked for me. This is what we were taught even in the IDEO course, and you can add your own combinations to it. You can either start with the protagonist and his or her pain point. So there is a character you've developed, whoever X or Y. She has this pain point, and then you bring in your solution. That is one way of doing it. The other is you do with the current context. The protagonist and the pain point is not the emphasis. The emphasis is the whole real world context. This comes with in terms of stats, numbers, white paper, the indicators, the social indicators, the gaps, and how your solution is trying to fill the gap. So these are either 2 ways, or you can come up with your own combination, and start your pitch from there. I have a few examples I'd like to show for both, where one place it starts with the protagonist and the other starts with the context. But the common end to both the pitches should be, the end is how your solution helps in either of the scenarios. Even if you're starting with the protagonist and pain point, how is it your solution is creating value? And even when it's with the context, you have to bring in how your intervention is helping fill the gap in the current context. So I'll just share these, I'll just show you all these videos for you all to get the context. This was a, sorry.
Are you showing us the video screen?
Yeah, you can't see it?
No, we're still seeing the presentation.
Oh, and why is that? Because
I think you would have shared only particular browser or something.
You can probably stop sharing and then reshare the browser screen again.
Okay. 1 second now. Yeah. Now you can see it?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. So this was a pitch, a real pitch in the IMB Women Startup Program. So I just get the context from this. So what I wanted you all to see was the um, value proposition, how she created the context for and then nudged into the value proposition. She didn't directly say that this is what we are solving for. Since these are in the world, this is the problem, world over we are facing, this is the solution, this is the problem, this is the stats, this is what people say about it, and now this is our intervention. So she led us into it. Another video I'd like to show is, one second. Can you see now my screen?
Yes, yes, we
Yeah.
can.
So this was my submission for IDEO for a pitch for a community engage for a senior citizens platform. So you can take a look at this.
You can increase the volume.
Okay. Wait. I'll just increase. Is it okay now?
We can't hear the audio part of
Have you
it.
shared computer sound when you were sharing screen?
One second. I'll just stop and share again.
Yeah, so when you're sharing, right at the bottom, there's a little button. Share computer sound.
I'll just do it again. You can see it now?
Yes.
No audio though, but I think it is okay. You can share later on.
The audio is not this thing.
Maybe
No.
you could also post the links to these videos in the chat. So the participants can go take a look at it later on as well.
I can share the YouTube one. This is
Okay.
part of the IDEO project. So this
Oh,
one,
all right, yes.
Okay.
the link, the YouTube one I'll share.
So,
Yeah. This is just music. It's more of visuals and text. So that was the a storytelling kind of a format where it was more about the characters and the problem they are facing and how the proposed solution would look like. So I hope the message was clear in both the videos. What is that I'm trying to convey? And wait, I will now I have to stop sharing this in 1 second. I'll go back to the PPT. So I'll share the YouTube link on chat. Okay. And this is how keep your story simple and the pitch simple. If you can add characters, fine. Otherwise, also that's fine because there's a time constraint. It took me 4-5 days to make that video. Okay, so it's not going to be that this thing, but the idea was to get some 1 or 2 characters to say what they feel and how they would feel like after the solution. So 1 second. So I would just like to share some of the resources. I would say go with Google Slides. It lets you collaborate. In fact, it helps you split all your tasks. So if you're once you'll have done ideation and problem framing together, one of you all can work on the storyboarding, prototyping, the other can work on the pitch. So all of that. So Google Slides is the best as far as that is concerned. For if you want to create wireframes and something quick, sign up for a free account with Balsamic. It's very easy to understand. It shouldn't take you more than 30 to 40 minutes. And all you can draw for the main screen. If it is onboarding, you can draw for the onboarding screen. Login probably you can skip, but at least you can draw for the onboarding screen. And what happens in the immediate next screen? Something. Or if you're drawing for the feed, how would the feed screen look like? So choose 1 or 2 screens. InVision is also a free tool. Balsamic is free for a month. InVision is a free tool throughout, and this works best when you have paper sketches. In fact, some of you all, if you have markers and all, don't waste time on learning Balsamic. Just draw nice paper sketches with a black border and some blue pen or pink pen, and take photos and upload it in InVision. In InVision, you can upload your photos and do interactions. Like click on this, it takes you to the next screen. You can do it and it's for free, but it takes only images. And if you want to create a video, you can use Adobe Spark. It has something like a Google Slide template, but you can add a picture, you can add your own voice, you can add music. The only thing is at the end, because it is not a free tool, it'll say credits Adobe Spark. That will be your last slide. So, but if it is just for submission and for pitch, you can use that. You can use free images, you can use their template, you can add music, you have options to add music, and you can add your messaging over there. So I use free images from Pexels and Pixabay. You can do that as well. Some tool tips just to follow. It's very critical to understand the problem you're solving for. If you don't get this part right, the rest of the pieces will not fall in place. And don't look for perfection, just focus on the outcome. There's no such thing as a perfect prototype. There's no such thing as a perfect pitch. Just that the audience should understand what is that you're solving for. And be creative and have fun, and it's a fun process, I think so, although despite the time constraint given. And all the best, and thank you. That's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a wonderful, it's a wonderful session. And I think your tools, what you have provided, it's a great, and quickly they can build. And now they would have idea is ready, prototype is ready, and all these tools are going to help them to shape their outcome.
Thank you. I hope, this will help remove any blockers as far as submission is concerned.
Yes, Ruby, definitely.
So do any of the participants have any questions which they would like to ask based on the presentation or anything with regards to whatever ma'am presented right now? You can put it in the chat and we'll probably keep it open for another 5 minutes, and then you guys can go back to your projects after that.
Yeah, please, she brings a lot of expertise, and feel free to ask any of your, feel free to ask any questions. No question is small or big.
Please.
Yes, Medha, please ask us.
Unmute and ask, no problem. I'd like to see your face as well.
Yeah, that would
Maybe
be great.
Ruby, you can probably stop sharing the screen so we can.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Medha, you had a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Yeah,
Uh,
Medha.
so basically, you showed us about design thinking, and I'm in the first semester. So,
Yeah.
and this is obviously online semester. So, I have recently learned about design thinking. So, this is just a revision. So,
Okay.
first
Good.
of all, thank you so much for that. And I want to ask a question that
Yeah.
we are following design thinking process for the
Hmm.
ideation of the problem,
Yeah.
means for creating PPT. But for
Hmm.
submitting PPT, can we follow both the approaches, that is human-centered design and design thinking? Because
If you could,
I have created a PPT which combines both.
if you could elaborate, you could elaborate how have you combined there's no direct demarcation between the two because design thinking is used for human centered design and vice versa. So if you've used either, so whichever works, but is your messaging coming across clear? Is the problem you're solving across coming for clear?
Yeah, I do think so, because the storytelling part is quite difficult to design in 24 hours.
Yes, I
Yeah, so I just combine design thinking part for ideation of the problem, that is
understand.
creating a behind the story, and
Hmm.
use human-centered design to reach the final goal.
Okay.
That is, I have skipped the middle steps of design thinking, like
See,
design thinking as a tool.
that's true. See, the best part about design thinking, and you might be knowing, is it's about what works best for you, given the
Yeah.
time constraint. I have made that video over 3-4 days. It's difficult for you to do the same in 24 hours. So, in whatever time period you have, if you feel it's solving the problem, then any approach that solves the problem works. My shoes.
Okay. Okay. That's what I want to ask you. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Does anybody else have any questions? Come on, guys, you don't get to interact with experienced people like Ruby on a daily basis. You shouldn't be wasting the opportunity.
Yeah, and very, very silent. We like to learn from you, and it should be very interactive and jumping and asking questions. Feel free.
I guess they
Hopefully, all of you
already.
aren't too worried about your projects and like just thinking about that.
Yeah, just enjoy the journey and have fun with your teammates and collaborate and think big, and for a solution, just break it into a smaller chunk. Then it makes really easy. I think we can close it, Sneha. No
You're
questions.
seeing no more questions. So everyone's available on the Teams channel. So as you're working on the project, if you still have any more queries that come up, feel free to just put them on the channel and our mentors will help you out.
And any of you connect with me, please feel free. I'm on LinkedIn. Anything you all want to discuss about and only in the subjects. I don't know other things. I'm not your typical coder. Okay. Anything in product management, entrepreneurship, design thinking, I'll be happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ruby. In spite of your very tight schedule on the personal front, really appreciated sharing this knowledge and expertise with the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Soumya. Thank you.
Thank you. Safe journey.
Yeah,
See
thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Take care,
much.
Sneh. Bye.
And all the very best to all our participants. We're
Yeah.
eagerly waiting for your submissions tomorrow.
Yes. Have fun.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.